Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and with Disney Plus launching next week, I thought it would be fun to go over my personal top 10 Disney animated films. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter and Instagram at Movie Guy 365, as well as over at the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I will leave a link for that in the description. All right, so Disney Plus is just getting ready to launch, or sometime in the future. If you're watching this, it is already launched. But I'm a huge Disney fan. I grew up with Disney. I grew up not too far from Disneyland Park. I was only maybe about 20 minutes away by car, and I have nothing but fond memories for the animated films, the parks, just anything Disney. And I'm just continue to this day to be a very big supporter of Disney as far as like their creative output and the parks. But, like with Disney Plus getting ready to launch here, and I know we all have our favorite Disney films. So I thought it would be kind of fun to give you my personal top 10 films in the Disney library. And I'm kind of curious in the comments to hear what your top 10 films are as well. I'm very excited about Disney Plus. I think there's so much potential there, opportunity for great content. And a lot of these I do own in the physical format, whether it's Blu Ray or 4K, but these films are just, it'd be nice to have them there as far as like a digital backup kind of thing. So I'm excited. Let's jump right into this and let's go. So number 10 in my top 10 of Disney animated films is The Little Mermaid. Now, there was a period in time where I was kind of like, oh, I don't like Disney and everything like that. And, I think we kind of think that's for kids and we have that mindset. But for those that are kind of get above that and just realize that this is a good art form, these are not just geared towards kids, that there's a lot of stuff here for adults, then you can go into these films that you kind of missed, and even though they were big hits at the time, and just go back and watch. Now, I would say Little Mermaid was definitely one of those films. Now, I got back into Disney, I would say roughly, I was maybe about 17 or so. And I just, this was one of the films I first watched after going back. So this one has a lot of meaning for me. It's great music, just great art style. It looks awesome. They released a 4K edition not too long ago, and it looks fantastic. It's just I feel a timeless film. They're getting ready to do a live musical version of that actually this week as of this recording. And of course they're doing a live action movie of this. So, it remains to be seen whether it's going to be more of an Aladdin or a Lion King, where Lion King was kind of a beat for beat telling of that story versus Aladdin, I felt took a lot of liberties, and a lot of it they did the right way is kind of differentiate the two. But yeah, Little Mermaid, the animated film, love it. Jodie Benson, I mean, come on, very iconic voice. So, all right, my number 9 is going to be Lady and the Tramp. And the main reason for this is because growing up, I used to go over to my grandmother's house, and this is one of the go-to movies that she had on VHS was Lady and the Tramp. And I've seen this movie countless times. Speaking of Disney Plus, they're also getting ready to do on launch a live action version. I'm very interested in checking that one out. But yeah, this one is very timeless for me. I enjoy Lady and the Tramp quite a bit. It still holds up quite well. And it's just, to me, it's one of the classics. My number 8 is Hercules. So after I got back into Disney, and I really young, as far as that age frame, I started creating my own home theater system. I've been into home theaters forever, and VHS, it started with VHS, and then it quickly evolved into things like Laserdisc and DVD and so forth. And I remember Hercules being one of my go-to demo movies because it has a great audio track on that one alone, but it's also fun. The animation style is different. It's not something that we've seen really a whole lot in Disney, and I think that turned a lot of people off, but it's actually a very good story, great voice cast, and it's just a fun film altogether. This film doesn't get nearly an amount of love that it deserves, either on media or at the parks. Awesome movie. I love this. I can't wait for them to release a real good 4K version of this because I'm going to use that to demo again, and it's just awesome. I love it. I mean, come on, Danny DeVito is amazing. Tate Donovan, great cast overall. I love Hercules. My number 7 is another, there's going to be quite a few of these on the list, but another overlooked or underappreciated film, and that is The Emperor's New Groove. Come on, David Spade, I would argue, is iconic in this role. And this was also John Goodman before he went on to do Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University. So this is a quintessential, like, appreciated film. It's funny, it's hilarious. There's so many, I mean, come on, Patrick Warburton, pretty much his career came from this. And, you know, it was just an awesome movie overall, and I think it really doesn't get nearly enough love. And if you haven't seen The Emperor's New Groove, check it out. It's very unlike what Disney usually does, and I think it's a lot of fun. I know there's a whole drama and history behind the making of this one, but it's still, like, I think it still turned out to be an epic film. My number 6 is a classic, Sleeping Beauty. Just a stunning movie. I mean, I'm more of a fan because it's simplistic, beautiful art style, and just it's a fairy tale come to life, and it's a very mesmerizing kind of film. And I know things have kind of gotten with the whole Maleficent live action, and they like to highlight Maleficent, I think, even more so than Sleeping Beauty or Aurora herself. And, you know, sure, that's fine and everything, but at the heart of the story is it's just a cool movie. It's a really cool movie. It's beautiful to look at even now. Definitely check it out if you haven't had the chance, but you probably have. My number 5 is going to be Dumbo. This one, like, every time I watch it, come on, Baby Mine gives me tears every single time. It's a beautiful movie. Just love the songs, and I think it's very short, and it's just one of the most iconic characters is Dumbo. It's just, come on, I can really talk about it all day. The live action, I feel, missed a lot of beats, and it kind of just didn't do the whole Baby Mine sequence right. It didn't earn it. It was just kind of off. But this is just pure gold, in my opinion. It was a great film. Love Dumbo, and of course Baby Mine. So epic, and it's so beautiful melody. It's just really awesome. My number 4 is very, very overlooked. It's very underappreciated, but there's something so cool about this movie to me, and I just enjoy it a lot. And that is Meet the Robinsons. This I think out of all the ones on this list, this one probably gets the least amount of attention or any kind of, like, recognition. It's different. It's a different movie, you know, than we normally get from our fairy tales. But it's so cool. I mean, we got time travel and Tom Selleck, and it's just a really very, very cool film. It's a lot of fun. It's great for all ages, and there's some awesome jokes. Like, there's some awesome jokes on here, and it doesn't go where you think it's going to go, and it's just a lot of fun. I feel that my only issue is it kind of rushed the climax a little bit. It feels very rushed, but I still just love this movie. I own it in 3D as well. It's cool. Just, if you haven't seen Meet the Robinsons, do yourself a favor. Definitely see that one. My number 3 is Beauty and the Beast. I mentioned getting back into Disney. This will also go with my number 1 pick, but I saw a double feature, and this was one of the movies in the double feature, and this and the other movie got me back into Disney. And come on, what can I say about Beauty and the Beast? It is absolutely iconic. It's beautiful. I've seen every version, like from the work in progress version to the, you know, the normal special editions and blah blah blah. It's a gorgeous film. I could talk all day about this. Music, Gaston. I mean, come on, like, one of the iconic villains in this film is definitely Gaston. Live action, I'm kind of middle of the road on that one. I think it kind of fell too much into Lion King live action, where it was too beat for beat. I know they did veer away a little bit, but I don't feel it was enough. And there were some questionable choices in that one as far as narrative. But the animated film is just one of the best, and it's got one of the best soundtracks in my opinion. My number 2 is a very personal movie for me. There's a story behind it. I don't really want to share it here, but it's an awesome movie. It's one of the more semi-recent films, and it's Wreck-It Ralph, but beautiful. Like, I love it. I love, like, a pop culture movie. And I know it's not, you know, it's not overly popular, but it was popular enough that it got a sequel. Unfortunately, the sequel wasn't nearly as good as this one. But as I mentioned, this is a fun movie for me. It has a lot of personal meaning to me personally, but it's just a good film. I mean, John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman. I mean, come on. Alan Tudyk as King Candy. Like, great. I don't think there was a bad choice in the voice cast whatsoever. And I just love the movie. I love the movie so much, and definitely sits on my number 2. And my number 1 was the second movie in the double feature that got me back into Disney, and that is Aladdin. This movie, to me, was a near perfect movie. It's adventure, comedy. Robin Williams is absolutely brilliant in this. I miss that guy every single day in every role that he's done. it's just, you know, it's such a huge loss. But this movie to me is, I think it really still holds up as far as why I love Disney. You know, it's great soundtrack, you know, fun adventure and great characters. It's funny, it's serious when it needs to be, and the animation is stunning. It is absolutely one of my favorite movies. It's still one of my favorite movies of all time. And I love Aladdin so much. And of course, you know, Princess Jasmine and Jafar, and oh, it's just so good. It's so good. That will do it for my list for top 10 Disney animated films. I'm going to do a top 10 Pixar. Look for that video tomorrow. But let me know in the comments below, what are your favorite Disney animated films? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.